Welcome to your practice. Come into a comfortable seated position to begin. You can come in cross-legged position, Padmasana. Anywhere where you can find a nice tall spine. Bring the hands to rest on the knees, palms face down. With each inhale, feel your spine get a little bit longer. And with each exhale, let the shoulders roll down the back. Find a little space between the ears and the shoulders. Get some length in the neck. As you settle into the simplicity of the breath, a smooth inhale, a long exhale. See if you can start to notice any of the sounds around you. With the eyes closed, see if you can imagine the room or the space that you're now in. Without using the stimulation of the eyes and the nervous system, see if through just the body, through the imagination, through opening that third eye, you can be present and fully aware of where you are. The eyes can stay open or closed as we move through our warm-up. A couple more breaths here. Inhale, we lengthen the spine. Exhale, relax the shoulders. The chest stays lifted, broad, and expansive the entire time. We're going to bring our arms alongside us, come into Bhu Mudra, our peace fingers. Let the tips of the fingers touch the earth, get a little bit taller in the crown as it reaches up for the heavens. Feel nice and sturdy like a mountain rooted into the earth, but reaching up through the ether. We're going to turn the palms to face up. Inhale, reach the arms up. Press the palms firmly together. Like you're a lightning rod, receiving that energy from the sky and drawing it right down from the cosmos into your body. Press firmly in between the hands, build a little heat in the arms. And on the exhale, draw the belly in towards the spine. Find a little compression around the abdominal organs. A nice support around the waist. Lift in the chest. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to rotate the wrists and float the arms down as you gently blink the eyes open. Let's uncross the legs. Let's come right into some movement. We're going to come into our all four here. Make sure you're spreading the fingers really wide. Either the pointer or the middle finger is pressing forward. Let's tuck the toes under, push the earth away, and feel the shoulder blades draw apart. A nice sturdy upper body. Let's take some hip circles. Loosen up at the waist. Once you have the momentum of the movement, just focus on the breath. Let's start to take that rotation forward and back in cat-cow. Inhale, lift the chest, arch the low back. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone under first, roll through the spine, head hangs last. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, around. You can always press the tops of the feet down, get a little lift in the knees, push the earth away. Moving with your breath, inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, a little hover in the knees as you round the back. Let's take one more. We're going to inhale, bring it forward. On this exhale, bring the knees wide. Place the tips of the toes down. We're going to settle the hips back, come into a wide-legged child's pose. Let the forehead rest on the earth. As you exhale, feel the whole body settle and compress. Use an inhale to fill up the lungs. It inflates you right back up. We're going to move right into our downward facing dog. Let's pedal out the feet here. Imagine you're a big bear, rooting those big feet into the ground. And then find some stillness as you lift the hips, press the earth away, belly in. Let the head hang. We're going to inhale, rise up onto the toes, walk to the top of the mat. Slight bend in the knees, hands to shins, halfway lift. Keep the gaze down and keep the spine long from the tailbone up to the crown. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. It's the first fold of the practice, so maybe it's a bit more of a squat here with the knees really deeply bent. And then you bend deeply into one knee, try to straighten through the other, and get into the hips here. Weight is in the toes. Surrender the head. Shake it out, yes and no. On our next inhale, we're going to inflate the lungs and stack each vertebrae one on top of the other as we rise all the way up to stand. Palms turn out. Let's keep going. Rise all the way up onto the toes. Root into the big toes. Reach the arms up towards the sky. Find your balance. Belly's in. Activate the thighs. Inhale. As you exhale, release the arms down by your side. Come into mountain pose. Feel that lift in the chest, belly in, chin up, chest out. Let's step the feet wide. Let's take a nice Tai Chi twist. Just breathe off all that tension. Shake it off. Exhale all the breath out. Mouth wide open. Really shake it out. And then bring the feet in. Let's get a really good shake here. Shake out all the limbs. Find something to jiggle. Move the breath as you're shaking out all the tension. Shaking out all those incompletions, all the stress. Just saying goodbye to all of it. Shaking it off, brushing it off. Let's come to the top of our mat and move through a nice sun salutation. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, belly in. Exhale, plant the hands. Let's step the right leg back, lower the back knee. We're gonna root the right hand. Left arm reaches up for a twist. And then let's keep the movement of the arm with some nice big arm circles and take it really slow and really wide. Let's get the full rotation of the scapula. As you reach it around back and reach it forward. Let's change direction. Nice, big, slow arm circles. I'm going to take one more. We're going to finish with the arm reaching forward. We're going to plant the hand on the inside of the foot, lift the back leg. Let's step it back into a plank, and we're going to bring our right leg forward. Release the back knee, untuck the toes. Peel it up first for the twist, right arm up. And then continue through to some nice, yummy arm circles on the right. Use this as a diagnostic tool to check out how the shoulder's doing, how much rotation we have, and make sure you're changing direction. Take it really slow. We're just lubricating that shoulder joint. And as we inhale up, we exhale, reach. Let's plant both hands inside of the foot. Lift the back knee. We're going to step it back to a downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, roll it forward to a plank. Release the knees. We're going to shine the heart forward. Make sure the low belly's not hanging. We're going to engage the core. Nice long spine. Shine the heart forward. 3 chaturanga push-ups. 1, 2, 3. Keep those elbows in by your side as you lower down to the earth. Let everything settle, forehead to the mat. Exhale, decompress. We're going to peel the chest up, point through the toes. Keep those wings in tight by the side body. Sip breath in. Little inhales, not a complete exhale. Keep the lungs slightly inflated. Baby cobra. Exhale, soften. Shake out the hips. Tuck the toes under, push it up to a plank. Shorten the stance, push it back to an animal squat. Lengthen the stance, downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, rise up onto the toes. Walk it to the top of the mat, halfway lift. Hands to shins or fingertips to the earth. Exhale, forward fold. You have an option here to roll up and stack the vertebrae on the spine to come upright, or you can lift the tailbone and lead with the chest. Get a nice U shape in the back, not a rounding, a U shape in the back as we lead with the chest to rise all the way up. Fingertips towards the sky. Balance on those big toes. Belly in. Thighs engaged. Inhale. Exhale, release the arms down by your side. Turn the palms out, mountain pose. Take a round of breath. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Let's step the right leg back, drop the back knee, root the right hand. Left arm peels up. Big arm circles. Let's take 2 in each direction. Inhale brings you up. Exhale brings you around. Inhale, we open. Exhale, we close. Bring the hand to the inside of the foot. Step it back to your plank. Right leg forward. Drop the back knee. Inhale, twist. Keep the movement. Simple movement, so focus more on the breath once you have the rhythm in your body of the movements. Try not to overthink your practice. We're going to bring it forward, nice reach there. Plant both hands, tuck the back toes to lift up, step it back into up down dog. Inhale, roll it forward to your plank. Your choice to take the mini chaturanga push-ups, or you can come into a full chaturanga. Rise up onto the toes, thighs are lifted, press it up, or we're in baby cobra. Tuck the toes, push it back. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, rise up onto the toes, walk to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers to shins or to the earth. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise it all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, balance on the big toes. Belly in, thighs engaged. Inhale, collecting that ether from above. As we exhale, we draw it down into our roots. Nice sturdy mountain pose. Take a breath. Let's come to the top of our mat. Feet hip distance apart. Bend the knees, fingertips touch the earth. Get really low here. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up, coming into Utkatasana. Weight is in the heels, lift the toes. Shoulders are down the back, reaching forward. Find one point of focus. Stay with the breath. Build a little heat in the thighs. On an exhale, forward fold. Weight is now on the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll it forward to a plank. Move through your choice of vinyasa. You can go through your chaturanga or a modified chaturanga, baby cobra, or upward facing dog to downward facing dog. We all meet in down dog, and then the right leg lifts. Knee into chest as the shoulders come over the hips. Plant the right foot. Let's inhale, rise it up. High crescent lunge. Gaze is up, belly's in. Imagine you're holding a big box in between your hands. There's a lot of energy moving in between the hands above. On an exhale, bring both hands to the top of the mat. Stand it up into an L shape or a standing split. Point the left toes down. Get that left thigh to face down. Soft landing, coming right back into your high lunge. Root into that right leg to push the earth away from you, as opposed to gripping at the low back to pull you up. So push into the heel. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, both hands to the top of the mat. Step into your plank. Push the floor away, sturdy plank. Broaden the shoulders. Shift the weight forward onto the toes. Bend the elbows halfway down. Push it up. Shine the chest forward. Thighs are lifted. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Find the breath. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Knee into chest. We're going to plant the foot. You might want to shorten the stance. We're gonna inhale, rise it up. Both hips are squared forward. Back heel is lifted, high lunge. Belly's in. Imagine that heat of energy is moving between your two hands. So our hands aren't just up here flopping around or being inactive. There's a lot of energy in the hands, from our roots all the way up to our shoots. Inhale. Exhale, dive it forward. Find stability with both hands in the earth. Lift that back leg. Notice if that right foot is pointing out to the side, if the hips are open. See if you can align the two hips in an even plane and get the top of the thigh to face the earth. The leg might lower, that's okay. We want some nice square hips here. Notice how that feels in the standing leg. We're going to do a soft landing with that back foot. Root into that right heel, engage the left heel, engage the left thigh. Inhale, high crescent lunge. To open it up, exhale, both hands to the mat. Sturdy plank here. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Bend the elbows. Push it up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take that flow again and let's move with the breath. So take a moment here to reconnect with your own breath. And let your breath be your guide. We're going to, on inhale, we lift. Exhale, knee to chest. Plant the foot. Rise up. Inhale, fill the lungs. Exhale, dive. Standing L. Exhale, root. Inhale, brings you up. Exhale, both hands to the top of the mat. Pause in your plank. Then inhale, shift it forward. Move through your vinyasa. Take your time, or you can always skip it and move right into down dog. Other side, left leg lifts. Knee to chest. Plant the foot. Inhale up. Exhale, dive. Exhale, soft landing. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, both hands to the top of the mat. So notice I'm not cueing every breath, only when the movements really necessitate that particular breathing pattern. Keep moving through your flow. We'll all meet in down dog. Rise up onto the toes. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, nice yummy forward fold here. Get a little more weight in the toes here. A little more length in the back of the hamstrings. We're going to inhale right into Utkatasana. Weights in the heels now. Sitting back. Lifting the toes. Careful the shoulders aren't reaching forward, but you have nice space between the shoulders and the ears. On an inhale, we spring the knees up. Rise onto the big toes. Exhale, mountain pose. Find your breath. Let's come into a series of pose of a dancer. So we're going to take our left knee up towards our chest. Root into the right leg. Lift the heart. Belly in. Let's release that leg and we're going to bring it behind us. Grab for the foot. Keep the two knees in line with each other. So notice if the knee is hanging out somewhere, try to bring them in line. And then from here, tuck the tailbone under and suck the belly in. Notice you'll start to feel a nice lengthening in the psoas as we do that. Then lift through the chest. Find your pose. Find one point of focus. Try not to move the eyes for a round or two of breath. Building the capacity to focus back into our lives, into our nervous systems in this world where there's so much asking for our attention. Simple bits of training with just a round of breath or two Don't let the eyes move. Keep them focused on one point. We're going to transition here. We're going to take the hand to the inside of the bent knee. Open the shoulder. Right arm reaches up. Realign the two knees, belly in, tuck the tailbone. And then from here, we're going to kick the foot back to start to come forward. I promise you, it's the kicking action that keeps us balanced. The harder you kick, the easier it is to balance. Natarajanasana, pose of a dancer. See if you can lean forward a little bit more. Keep kicking. If you come out of it, allow yourself another chance. You can always use this pose at the wall. To come out of the pose, we inhale the lungs up. We exhale, release the arm and foot. Find your footing, mountain pose. Let's take it on the other side. So you root into the left leg first, then lift the right. Squeeze the knee in towards the chest, a slight lifting it towards the shoulder. So we're not compressing it into the body, we're more trying to lift the kneecap towards our shoulder. Notice the different sensation you'll get from compressing it in versus lifting it upward. Belly in, chest is lifted, shoulders down the back. Assess here if you're going to need the wall for this series, and that's quite all right. On an exhale, release the clasp, move slowly. We're going to bring it back behind us. See if you can take the knee, the foot with both hands. Again, figure out what that right knee is doing. Realign the knees. Tuck the tailbone under. Belly in. Start to feel that length in the front right psoas. Draw the shoulder blades back. Lift through the chest. This could be your pose here today. If you want to take it in a little further, we're going to take our right hand to the inside of the foot. Open the right shoulder. Left arm towards the sky. Then realign the knee. Tuck the tailbone, belly in. Start to kick with the back foot as you lean the chest forward. Find one point of focus. Stay with the breath. Again, the harder you kick, the easier it is to balance. On an inhale, rise up. On an exhale, release the arm and the foot. Mountain pose. Let's come to the top of our mat. We're going to inhale, arms together. Let's lean it over towards the right. Nice half moon here. Weight is in the heels, belly's in, and let's open that left shoulder towards the sky. So no cheating, no flexion in the spine here. We really want a lateral stretch in that side body. Suck the belly in to really support the low back, very important. Exhale, lean into it. Inhale, fill up the lungs to bring you up. Exhale, let's bring it over to the left. Again, notice if you're cheating and you're leaning forward, weight is forward. Challenge yourself by maybe coming out of it a little bit, opening that right shoulder up and feeling the stretch on the right side of the body. Belly is in. These poses really aren't about the shape. It's more about the sensation that you feel inside your own body, your own experience, and your ability to find a shape and keep breathing. So if you're holding your breath, find an adjustment, come out of it a little bit so you can actually access the pose. Exhale, you lean in, get a little further to mark the spot for next time. Inhale brings you up. We're going to take it back now. So to set this up, I want you to draw your belly in, tuck your tailbone under. This is supporting our low back here. Then to bring it back, instead of thinking about a back bend, I want you to think about your chest is lifting and lifting and lifting and lifting. And simply notice the back bend comes into it. Lift your chest a little bit higher as you keep the low belly in and the tailbone tucked. Exhale, mark the spot. Inhale brings you up. Shake it out side to side. Shake out any tension in the spine. We're gonna bring it down now for a dive. Exhale, forward fold. Really bend through one knee and through the other. Shake the head out. We're gonna take our hands, flip them onto the back of the hands, and slide our hands underneath our feet. So we're gonna step on our feet. Our toes are up right to the wrist. Feel this nice energetic connection in the body. So let the head hang. Allow your body to go inward. Allow yourself to cool down. As you breathe, just imagine the breath is cycling up from your toes up to the legs on the inhale. And on the exhale, it's tumbling down the back, over the head, dripping into the arms, right back to the feet. And there's this nice wholeness to the body, to the breath, a continuity. And just let your mind settle into the comfort of that continuity for a few moments. Of course, if this is too much on your hands, you're welcome to release your feet from the captivity of your hands. Come right into a simple forward fold. We're all going to come out of it now. We're going to take a gentle inhale, deep bend in the knees, come into Utkatasana. Get really low here. And then from here, we're going to settle our hips down. I'm going to come to the center of the mat for you. We're going to come right into our boat. Let's take some Russian twists. Our hands are at our heart. We're going to twist to side to side. See if you can get your shoulders squared to each side as much as possible on each twist. You can always release the feet or challenge yourself by lifting the legs. Let's straighten out the legs into a half boat and flutter the legs. Here we go. Fluttering those rudders. Kick, kick, kick. Let's just cross them over. Crisscross, crisscross. You can either support yourself to rise back up or use your core to come back up. Let's sit nice and straight. Extend the legs long. Let's take a little stretch now. Let's bring our palms underneath. Palms face down. Hands underneath our sits bones. Sit nice and tall here. Flex the feet back towards the face. Dandasana, staff pose. Suck the belly in, lift through the chest. Shoulders down the back. Feel that nice long line of energy from the base of the tailbone up through the crown. Let's release the hands, inhale, arms up. Leading with the chest, not the arms, no cheating. Leading with the chest, come into your forward fold. Once you've leaned as far as you can, then release the hands into a yogi toe lock. Those peace fingers in between the big toe and the second toe, leaning it forward. If you can't reach your feet, that's fine. Lean with the chest, not rounding in the back. We want to lengthen the spine wherever we are. There's an openness in the chest, even though we're bowing into it. Cool the self down. Keep the toes active and flexing towards the face. Maybe close the eyes for a moment. Allow yourself to go inward. And see if you can release resistance to the shape. And the exhale allows you to make way a little bit more into it. One more exhale here. Then inhale, fill up the lungs to bring you back upright. Let's go right back into Dandasana, nice and tall. Coming right back into the room. Let's bring our right knee in. Left arm behind us. Inhale, reach it up. We're going to wrap it around. Matsyendrasana. You're going to take those yogi peace fingers and wrap them around the back of the knee. If that's not accessible for you today, you're going to reach the right arm forward. If you're in your bind, you're going to bring the left shoulder in and forehead towards the knee. Whatever shape you're in, the left toes are reaching back towards the face. So you're either in the bind or you're reaching forward. If you're in the bind, you're going to unclasp. All of us are going to take that right knee and we're going to open it wide. Janu Shirshasana. Let's bring our foot to the inner thigh. We're going to take a little twist over to the left. Root down into that right knee. Imagine there's a heavy weight or a frumpy cat just came and took the seat right on your thigh and is comfortably weighing that right thigh down into the earth. And then let's fold over the left leg. Again, we're leading with our chest. Notice if you're really rounding into it, just allow yourself to sit into it and lead with your chest. Be comfortable. We're getting some length out of the hamstring and out of the low back here. We don't want to be always arching into our spine here. We still want our spines long. Keep that energy of Kundalini moving freely from the base of the spine up to the crown. That's our life energy, our creativity and inspiration. Exhale, you lean in. Mark the spot. Inhale. Feels you back up, sit tall. Make that reconnect the posture. And then let's switch legs. So extend the right leg out, left knee in. Support yourself with your right hand behind. Inhale, left arm up. You're either reaching forward and you're right here for today, or you're turning the left palm down, the left thumb down, wrapping it around the bent knee, and taking those yogi peace fingers, interlacing them around the back. Chest is always leading. If you're in the bind, bring your forehead to rest on your knee, if that's in your practice. Instead of using the musculature to force you into a shape, see if you can use the exhale to access the shape. Give you permission to, an invitation to come into it. So take an inhale and an exhale, you soften into it, getting a little closer. Exhale marks the spot for next time. Inhale brings you up. Unbind. Everyone's going to turn that left knee out. Connect at the inner thigh with the foot. Twist over to the right. The cat's now scurried away but has come back to see a nice comfortable left thigh there that it would like to take a seat on. So without using your hand, you're feeling your knee pressing deep into the earth as you bring the heart forward to lean into Janu Shirshasana. Close the eyes, allow your mind to go inward. Take a moment to yourself here. Exhale. Inhale, brings you up. Let's extend both legs long. Let's scoot forward a little bit. We're either going to roll down our spine, or if you have a tense low back, you're going to come onto your side. And we're all going to meet on our back. So move gently, move safely. Let your back settle into the earth. We're going to lift through the chest, drawing our shoulder blades together. Feel a nice elevation as at the chest, and notice how that changes the breathing. Feet are hip distance apart. Let's suck the belly in and press the low back into the mat. Start to feel the feet get a little bit more active, rooting down into the earth. And then we're going to scoop the tailbone under, the hips lift, rolling up through the spine, coming into our bridge pose. Palms face down, press the shoulders down, elbows down, palms down, root into the feet. Now, if you're someone who sits a lot, I want you to soften the glutes. No tension at the glutes, no tension around the sacrum. If you don't sit a lot, which is unusual for us modern folks, then you can bring a squeeze into the glutes here. But we want to soften at the glutes. We want to just remind the glutes that there's other support around us if we're sitting and creating a lot of tension in that sacrum all day when we sit on those muscles. Feel the broadness in the chest, rooting into the heels. Maybe lift the toes a little bit. Exhale, roll from the top of the spine, middle spine. Hips settle last, palms face out. Find the breath. Breathe it off. Interlace the fingers behind us. Let's get a little core in here. We're going to take some bicycles. So we're going to lift the shoulders, knees lifted. On an exhale, inhale, other side. Exhale. Exhale, inhale. Now let's switch that pattern. Take a cycle of breath. We're going to exhale the left knee in. Inhale the other knee. And just notice how the brain has to process the change in the pattern. Bring both knees in, let the shoulders settle. We're going to send the legs up towards the sky. Roll through the ankles. We're going to grab on the outside of the feet and bring the hands on the inside of the knees, coming into a happy baby pose. In happy baby pose, we press the tailbone down into the mat, suck the belly in, whole spine is long into the earth. And then you're going to use your thumbs and start to massage in between each finger, like a happy baby playing with their toes. And now let's take a strong grip on the outside of the feet while our elbows are on the inside of the knees. Belly's in, tailbones pressing down into the mat, and let's start to pull our lower legs down towards the earth. Let's bring the feet together. We're going to rub the feet, rub the hands. We're starting to bring our body into a more receptive, restful pose. So the feet stay together, the knees are going to fall out. We're going to take our arms alongside us. Always readjust to make sure that the chest is lifted and the shoulder blades are drawing back. So there's a nice openness in the chest and the heart. We're not collapsed laying on the mat. We're nice and alive and open. It can also feel nice to lift the hips and place the hands palms down underneath the thighs. Even getting a bit of that lower forearm underneath the body as well. If this is a little tense around the hips, you can always move the feet away from the body, or you can come right into a Shavasana pose, or just passing through a restorative pose here, opening at the hips. You can linger here for a few moments, as long as it feels nourishing. At any point, you can lift the hips up, release the arms, extend the legs long. In your Savasana, feet are as wide as the edges of the mat. Palms are facing up. Focus on the breath for 3 cycles, imagining the breath moving up from the belly. And on the exhale, it's moving down from the crown. Visualize this flow of breath up and in and down and out. Let your mind and your being drift into a state of blissful restness as you allow the energy to move around your body as you receive the benefits of this practice. Stay here as long as this suits you. When you're finished, make your way to a comfortable seated position with eyes closed. Thank yourself for practicing. Set an intention before moving on into your day. Thank you for practicing with me. I'm going to leave you here in Shavasana as long as you need to. Namaste.